What's up, people? How you doing on this beautiful day here? This is going to be another video, by the way, of me. And this is going to be about this guy you see on the screen right here. If you remember him, this was the president that we had 4 years, almost 8 years ago now. And this is a guy that's it's gonna sound very familiar. I should have pulled up the side by side some of the things that he said back when he was running for president. They're rolling out the same hope and change nonsense that did nothing for people. And we're gonna break this speech down, and I'm gonna show you how Obama wasn't nothing. You understand? I'm going to show you how the same thing that he's saying Kamala Harris is going to do now. You got to ask your question. He was in the office for 8 years. Why didn't it happen then? Here they go, running the same playbook again. Let's start this off.
Hard to believe because I have not aged a bit. But it's true. And looking back, I can say without question that my first big decision as your nominee turned out to be one of my best.
And what was that?
And that was asking Joe Biden to serve by my side as vice president.
Let's stop there. Him and Joe Biden didn't even like each other, because you got to remember, he only chose Joe Biden just to have a white guy on his ticket, because you just couldn't have the black guy at the top. Joe Biden was just picked just to ease the other half of the country, or other people, other liberals, let's put it like that, for the most part, because the right wasn't going to vote for you anyways. So to ease the mind of other folks that might not be comfortable seeing just a black man at the top of the ticket, you see. So, and Obama and Joe Biden didn't even like each other. They ain't even like each other to this day. There was all type of rifts going through the Obama administration, and how many times Joe Biden undermined Obama, went to Congress behind Obama's back to broker deals without Obama. Just imagine that. Your vice president said, "The hell with you. I'm going to go broker this deal without you." And now he's trying to act like they were best friends. Let's go.
Other than some common Irish blood, Joe and I come from different backgrounds, but we became brothers.
Oh, yeah?
And as we worked together for 8, sometimes pretty tough years, what I came to admire most about Joe wasn't just his smarts, his experience, it was his empathy.
We're going to cut through some of this stuff here.
A lot of Americans don't believe government can help. And as we gather here tonight, the people who will decide this election are asking a very simple question. Who will fight for me? Who's thinking about my future, about my children's future, about our...
Remember, this is the guy who was in the office for 8 years. Where are we now? What happened to your children's future? What happened to your future? He is promoting you to pretty much give a second term to Joe Biden, because Kamala Harris is not even giving you any. If you notice through all the DNC, they're not giving you any policy. So apparently they're not going to change anything. They're not going to do anything different. So whatever Joe Biden was do, Kamala Harris is probably going to do much of the same. So what does your future look like? where you can't even pay for rent right now and pay for food. What does your future look like? Let's continue.
Our future together. One thing is for certain, Donald Trump is not losing sleep over that question.
And Kamala Harris is? You think Kamala Harris, who's not even telling you that she's going to do anything for you, is losing sleep about you and your future, about you not being able to survive and pay for rent and have a future for your children out here? You think that Kamala Harris is losing sleep over you? Or this guy either? He didn't lose one wink of sleep as 8 years being the president, while people were getting slaughtered out here. Black people particularly. Let's continue.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. My friend Kamala is coming up on one of the last major fundraising deadlines before Election Day. So when I say...
With Byberg Business Insurance, protecting what you've built is easy, efficient, affordable.
Kamala.
Sorry about that.
There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes.
You're going to notice through this whole thing that it's all going to be about Donald Trump. It's not going to be about what Kamala has done for you. Because this fool did the same thing and went in there and didn't do nothing for you. When the banks were collapsed this whole country, you know who got bailed out? The banks. The ones who collapsed our economy. The homeowners, the actual homeowners who lost their wealth and home, and a lot of them were black. They didn't get no relief. The homeowners, the American citizens as a whole didn't get no relief as they lost all type of wealth during that collapse. Everybody lost. And the people didn't get no relief under this son of a... Let's continue.
It just goes on and on and on. The other day I heard someone compare Trump to the neighbor who keeps running his leaf blower outside your window every minute of every day. Now, from a neighbor, that's exhausting. From a president, it's just dangerous.
Uh-oh, this is dangerous.
The truth is, Donald Trump sees power as nothing more than it means to his ends. He wants the middle class to pay the price for another huge tax cut.
Sir, you and Michelle Obama came in the White House probably maybe worth $1 million, and y'all left worth like $100 million. So it seems like you were in it for the means to your ends too. Why the American people are still, we haven't gotten any better. Your presidency didn't push this country further. Do you see where we're at? That law, the healthcare law, did help some. But it didn't bring the cost down like it was supposed to. So you got people still, with high medical costs, still being bankrupt. You didn't really change nothing, dude. Let's continue.
That would mostly help him and his rich friends. He killed a bipartisan The truth is, Donald Trump sees power as nothing more than a means to his ends. He wants the middle class to pay the price for another huge tax cut that would mostly help him. And
I want y'all to understand what type of stupid scumbag he is, right? The first Republican tax cut that the Republicans put through, the George Bush tax cut, this idiot came in, he made those tax cuts permanent. The first tax cuts that gave the rich, the same rich people that he is talking about right now, this is what type of hypocrite he is, because he gave the same, he got his hands in the same bed that Donald Trump got his hands in. So don't come to me with this nonsense that you're talking about, oh, taxing the rich and the middle class and blah, blah, blah. When you were the president, you brokered a deal that made those tax cuts that Bush put in for the wealthy permanent. Think about that. There's never been no tax cut for you, the workers' class, that's permanent. If they give you a little tax cut, it's going to run out, and they're going to say, oh, the next Congress has to reauthorize it, and they're going to come together and see it, and they're going to say, the hell with you, the American people. But the wealthy people, we're going to make this tax break permanent for you. And this idiot got the nerve to come on here and act like as if he didn't do that. Let's continue.
his rich friends. He killed a bipartisan immigration deal written in part by one of the most conservative Republicans in Congress that would have helped secure our southern border, because he thought trying to actually...
Hey, let me just tell you something that this dirtbag ain't gonna tell you. That deal that they wanted to get by, it didn't stop the flowing. They were still gonna let hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants in. It wasn't really gonna close the border. If you actually read the thing, it wasn't something that was going to control the flow and stop these people being dumped in the black neighborhoods. And if you see in Chicago, they kick the kids out of school to house these immigrants. They kick them out of their parks, the community centers, and people will sit here and tell you, oh, the immigrants ain't doing nothing to come over here. They ain't doing nothing to black people. As they're telling you, as they're kicking your black kids out of school so they can house these folks, as they're giving them resources that they never gave you. If you see an immigrant on your block that just came over the border, that can barely speak English, somehow they got a food cart, they got a business. Mind you, they come over here with no credit. They come over here with no credit, no nothing. But all of a sudden, they can get all these resources and start businesses right on your corner. The government is giving them these resources to do that. And those will be the same immigrants that will look at you, black Americans. I just got over here 5 years and I got a new house, car, business. What's wrong with you lazy people? Oh, they ain't gonna tell you that my tax dollars that they used to help your ass when you got over here, that's how you got that stuff. The resources that they never gave to me. I'll be liable to... Let's continue.
Solve the problem would hurt his campaign. He doesn't... Do not boo. Vote.
Vote for what? Vote for what? They never tell you. You're never going to hear this guy tell you what you should go vote for, what Kamala's going to actually do for you.
He doesn't seem to care if more women lose their reproductive freedom, since it won't affect his life.
Oh, okay. There it is. There it is. That's all the Republicans are. I mean, the Democrats are about abortions. There it is. All right. They give you the opportunity to kill your children. But they never are telling none of these other groups. They only seem they come to black people and black women and say, hey, what we're going to offer you is the right to abortions to kill those little black babies. Me as a black man, what would I need to vote for anything the Democrats got to offer? What are they offering? LGBT, abortion rights, immigration. What am I voting for again? Continue.
And most of all, Donald Trump wants us to think that this country is hopelessly divided between us and them. Between the real Americans, who of course support him, and the outsiders who don't. And he wants you to think that you'll be richer and safer if you will just give him the power to put those other people back in their place. It is one of the oldest tricks in politics from a guy whose act has, let's face it, gotten pretty stale. We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse.
Yes. If you say that about Donald Trump, hey, I don't even really say, hey, don't say that about Donald Trump. Hey, it could be true. But it also goes back the other way. You see? Because what we see this is as Kamala as Obama too light. So the sequel of your administration, who didn't do a damn thing for nobody, especially black people, was going to be worse under Kamala Harris. You're absolutely right, sir.
America's ready for a new chapter. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris is ready for the job. This is a person who has spent her life fighting on behalf of people who need a voice and a
He is a liar. She spent her life fighting against people who needed those voices. She spent her life locking people up, locking parents up for truancy. She spent her life I forget that girl name that died in California, the black girl. And she did not want to bring the evidence to charge the police officers that killed that black girl. And she only used that black girl to bring her up when she was running for office, to use her as clicks and baits. So she does not speak up for nobody who needed her voice. There was a man who was in prison. He was an innocent man, and there was evidence that proved his innocent. Guess who kept the evidence out and tried to keep this man in jail? He's not the only one. Guess who did that? Kamala Harris, the one who he said that's speaking for the people who needed a voice. An innocent person in jail needed your voice, and you had the power to let them out. He needed your voice, and you know what she did? Let's continue.
champion. As you heard from Michelle, Kamala was not born into privilege. She had to work for what she's got.
Yeah, she did have to work for what she's got. She worked her mini skirt and her breasts and everything else right up and down Willie Brown to get up the ladder. That's what she did, if you want the truth. Because she ain't never, she's been appointed to all these positions. The majority of people nowhere has never supported Kamala Harris. Nowhere. This is the first time that all of a sudden she has this broad support amongst people. It's unbelievable. Let's go.
And she actually cares about what other people are going through.
See, that's all they talking about is, oh, she's so sweet. She actually care, and all these bubbles and all these flowers, and it's all beautiful days, and yes, and she's just such a great person. I don't give a damn about what type of person you are. What does it matter what type of person you are? Does it matter to you as an American that you need things to happen in your life? Does it matter to you what type of person, the politician that's supposed to be bringing resources to you in your neighborhoods? Does it matter if they like you or if you like them or not? Do you care about liking them? You're never even going to see these people in hand. I'm not going to sit down with Kamala Harris. I need to know what policies. They never get to what she's going to do. They always talk about, well, she's a good person. When you starving on the streets, can you eat the fact that Kamala Harris is a so-called good person? When everything is so high and you can't afford to live in your apartment and you out on the street living in your car, is Kamala Harris being a good person going to help you at that point? Let's continue.
Not the neighbor running the leaf blower. She's the neighbor rushing over to help when you need a hand. As a prosecutor, Kamala stood up for children who had been victims of sexual abuse. As an attorney general of the most populous state in the country, she fought big banks and for-profit colleges.
He's such a lion. Do you know Kamala Harris, one of her biggest donors are the banks? What are you talking about? He's such a liar. Let's go.
Securing billions of dollars for the people they had scammed. After the home mortgage crisis, she pushed me and my administration hard to make sure homeowners got a fair settlement. Didn't matter that.
When did that happen, you lying son of a gun? When? Most homeowners in this country did not get no relief. They lost everything, dude. And if they did get something, it was nothing that can bring back what they lost. This dude is a... There's a reason why Donald Trump was able to win right after you, dude. If you were doing such a good job, Donald Trump, this guy that everybody's supposed to hate, the entertainer, wouldn't have been able to come and beat Hillary Clinton if people thought they wanted an extension of your crap with Hillary Clinton. I want y'all to remember, this is the guy who brought in Donald Trump. This is the guy who set the stage where Donald Trump was able to win. People were so disgusted about what he didn't do and about how everybody, the big banks and all the wealthy people got bailed out except for the American people. Now he's acting like as if he did something. Let's go.
I was a Democrat. Didn't matter that she had knocked on doors for my campaign in Iowa. She was going to fight to get as much relief as possible for the families who deserved it.
Lies.
As vice president, she helped take on the drug companies to cap the cost of insulin, lower the cost of health care, give families with kids a tax cut. And she is running for president with real plans to lower costs even.
To give family with kids a tax cut, and then they let it run out. So just think about that. If you're getting a tax cut for your children, that will help you out. That did help people out. But then they take it away from you. Now you got to pay them costs again. So now you're right back where you started from. Like, unbelievable. Continue.
More and protect Medicare and Medicaid, and sign a law to guarantee every woman.
But this guy made sure that the Bush tax cuts were permanent for the rich people, though. Your tax breaks, any tax breaks for you is going to have a time limit on it. He made tax breaks that the Bush administration passed in. He made them permanent. Him. Let's go.
Right to make her own health care decisions.
Are you drowning in payday loan debt? Have you taken out multiple payday loans and are unable to pay them back?
In other words, Kamala Harris won't be focused on her problems. She'll be focused on yours.
Yep, just like you did, you lying piece of crap.
As president, she won't just cater to her own supporters and punish those who refuse to kiss the ring or bend the knee. For that vision. Now, it won't be easy. The other side knows it's easier to play on people's fears and cynicism, always has been.
Now, we do remember that the Democrats, that's the only thing they do is play on people's fears and cynicism. Aren't these the people that's talking about Project 2025? Oh my God, Project 2025 is going to destroy all of us. Isn't Joe Biden the guy that said if Trump get anything, he going to put us all back in slavery? These are the idiots that was telling us that, talking about fear mongering. By the way, if you're anybody who's talking to somebody and they tell you that, hey, the other side is going to put us back in slavery, that's not even a person that you can have a realistic conversation with. You should end the conversation right there. If you say something stupid like that, Donald Trump is going to put us back in slavery, I know I can't have a competent conversation with you at this point. Let's continue.
They will tell you that government is inherently corrupt, that sacrifice and generosity are for suckers. And since the game is rigged, it's okay to take what you want and just look after your own. That's the easy path. We have a different task. Our job is to convince people that democracy can actually deliver. And in doing that,
just like it delivered in your 8 years, right? Democracy. I'm gonna tell you something. The United States has never been a democracy. And black people have never seen a democracy. We have never had democracy in this country. So what is he talking about and who are you talking about? Get out of here.
We can't just point to what we've already accomplished.
The Democrats are the most undemocratic party between the two. These are the people who just stuff Kamala Harris down your throat. These are the people who didn't even have a primary, so whoever support Democrats can choose which one. And they could have chose somebody else except for old ass Joe Biden from the very jump. But it was the Democrats that said, we're going to stuff Joe Biden down your throat. And then after Joe Biden didn't work, they said, now we're going to stuff Kamala Harris down your throat. And he is talking about democracy. The most undemocratic party between the two of them. Let's continue.
We can't just rely on the ideas of the past. We need to chart a new way forward to meet the challenges of today. And Kamala understands this. She knows, for example, that if we want to make it easier for more young people to buy a home, we need to build more units and clear away some of the outdated laws and regulations that made it harder to build homes for working people in this country. That is a priority, and she's put out a bold new plan to do just that.
That plan, y'all, I want y'all to be clear. That plan, the housing plan where she says first generation, black people, we're not first generation. And other people, if you're not first generation, who are you talking about? Oh, she's talking about the immigrants. The housing plan was for the immigrants. The housing plan is not for the regular American. If it is, it's going to be very minuscule. These are for the immigrants. First generation? Who's a first generation? What are you talking about? Okay, continue. Maybe I'm reading into that too much, but let's continue.
On health care, we should all be proud of the enormous progress that we've made through the Affordable Care Act, providing millions of people access to affordable coverage,
And it did provide access, but it didn't bring down the cost, sir, which is what you promised to do. Okay, it's like I give more people access to buy this high ass insurance. Okay. All right. You know what? We're gonna end it there because you get the gif. You get the gif that what they're doing at the DNC. You get the gist of what they're doing. There's no policy. There's no nothing. It's all about fun under the sun and how you feel and if she's a good person and blah 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 and a bunch of nonsense. Nothing that actually speaks to what people, inflation, all of this stuff that's going on out here. There's nothing that speaks to you with this. This guy is running the same game he ran when he was running for president. You remember when he was trying to pass the torch off to Hillary Clinton, he came to the convention and told, I will take it a personal insult if y'all don't come out and vote for Hillary. Well, black people didn't go out and vote for Hillary. We gave both of y'all the middle finger. And I hope that we do this time around. I'll see you later. Hit the like button. Comment if you want. Subscribe. Thank you.